Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? So good, I hope. So good. I am just getting us set up. There we go. Okay. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you this morning? Ready to get artsy? I am. It's this time of year, isn't it? This time of year always feels so frazzly. As much as I try to not be frazzly, it just kind of happens. And so I look for little ways to calm myself down. Does anybody else do that? I feel like and nothing calms me down more than doing something with my hands, right? Because, and especially like painting or embroidery, I find those things I have to slow down, and I have to think about things like colors or texture or dimension. Do you know what I mean? And so when I do that, then all the other ick kind of goes out of my head. Do you know what I mean? I saw this post this morning, and it was from a long time ago. But if you are on Instagram and you do not follow Steve Gutenberg, I advise you to give it a try. He writes things that are relatable, and he's kind of into slowing it down and figuring your stuff out too. And so he had this post, and I think it was from like the beginning of November or something. But anyway, he talked about how he got this email one morning, and it just really put him in a bad mood, right? And so he talked about how, like it was really just starting to color his vision of his whole day. And then he kind of stopped. And you know how that can happen. Someone can tell you something, or you can read a text or a post or an email, whatever, right? And it can affect you, right? But then he started to talk about how he had this conversation with himself about don't let it ruin your whole day. It's not allowed. It doesn't have a right. It's not entitled to ruin your whole day. I was like, oh, heck yeah. And he said, I've got tons of other things to do today, and don't we all, right? So, I just thought that was brilliant, a brilliant way to just go, you know what? You know what? There's so much sadness in the world right now. And I don't understand. You know, I have a no meanies policy. I do not like meanness, especially deliberate meanness, where there's thought put into the meanness. That's a great big NO from my book. And I will just tell you, my sensibilities cannot handle one human being treating another with such blatant meanness. I can't handle it. And so when that happens, I find myself, like, I tend to like just retreat within myself and try to focus my energy into making something. So that's what I want to do today. And you know, I want to hang with my artsy homies. So if you haven't already, if you would follow, like, subscribe, share, comment on Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and then ask to join Stitch Along with Ann Facebook group and Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs Facebook group. I do need to let you know that there's a very different my Facebook page and my Facebook group are very different, right? My Facebook page is the first one I created. And if I would have known what happened, like all the things that can, all the benefits of having a Facebook group, I would have done that. But I didn't. And I'm deep into it now. And so the Facebook group is where you can share photos. But the Facebook page is where I share my videos. I hope that clears up some crazy stuff. Anywho. And then for all things Anne and Artsy, you're going to go to AnnCorbierscottDesign.com to buy things like the Michelle art printable. So here's what I bought a whole bunch of these Paper Artsy Fresco FInish Chalk acrylics when I was in New York, Connecticut. I drove to Connecticut to see my friend Tracy at Papercraft Clubhouse, and you're gonna want to go to her website. Her online presence is amazing, and she has all kinds of Paper Artsy products. They have I was just interested in their paints because I've been seeing a lot of that out in the world, and I'm really fascinated with these translucent ones. So I did get a bunch of the chalk acrylics, but I also got some that are called matte tints. But today we're just going to focus on these. So if you are interested, please contact my friend Tracy at Papercraft Clubhouse and tell them Anne sent you. Their online presence is their online store is amazing, but you could also call them, and I will put a link to Papercraft. You know what? Let's see if I can do it while I'm talking to you. I know that seems counteractive to me. I think that I can connect you to Papercraft Clubhouse. Okay. I'm going to put a link to her store. There we go. So if you just click that link that I just posted, you will be able to go to Papercraft Clubhouse, and she has, so Tracy is the owner, and she's just about the best. I posted photos when I visited there, and she has this amazing girl named Jonah who works for her, who she and I became fast friends during the pandemic, and I would call and say, Jonah, what color Posca pens do you have today? Remember how crazy it was for all of us? Anywho, so today's my first time playing with these paints, and I thought, you know what? Why not do it with my pals? Okay, so these three that I got, so the thing about these paints is they have a little chevron here in the front, much like golden paints do, and they paint over that chevron so you can see how transparent it is. I think I have some that are opaque. There we go. So you can see the difference between a transparent and an opaque, and I think then they have semi-transparent, but I don't know that I bought any of those. I don't know. You know, I was just interested in colors. And I thought that I grabbed all translucent, but when I opened the box, nope, I did not. I did not. But the cool thing about these paints is that you can dilute them even more with water. And so that's what I'm kind of feeling I want to do this morning. Good morning, Anne. Mean people will always be part of our world. I know, Lindy. But I will just tell you, my little sensitive soldier heart can't handle it sometimes. Sometimes it's tough to not let it bother us. It is absolutely. It's when people are deliberately mean. That's the most egregious in my book. Okay, so here's what I was thinking. So the Michelle Art Printable, let's talk about that first. You know, that's so much better than mean tweets and crap like that, right? Let's talk about poinsettias and, you know, French text and all of that kind of cool stuff. Okay, so the Michelle Art Printable has this big, long chunk of French text that I just fell in love with. When I was in France, I just looked for like old books that were written in French. And when I went to Puerto Rico, I did the same thing with Spanish. And when I went to Mexico, I did the same thing. When I go to Canada, I look for things in French. I just, or, you know, you could find this stuff at your secondhand stores or whatever. I just find it fascinating. This is not a new printable. Look at it, says copyright 2021. But if you go to my website and you go to Christmas and you scroll down, you'll find Michelle. And Michelle was a former design team member, and she was just the bomb diggity. Anywho, I have this idea for this chunk, and so I'm going to cut that apart. And remember, this year I am making Christmas postcards. That's kind of where I'm at this year. I have been getting all kinds of postcards from the iHanna postcard swap, and oh my gosh, I just love exchanging postcards. I love making them. I like exchanging them. I like finding them in my mailbox. Oh, all the things. Okay, so as I was thinking about these paints, I thought about if they are thin or if they are transparent, then that means I can layer, right? And you know I love me a crayon. You know I love me some crayon resist. So I thought, what if I just come in here and just do some white crayon markings, right? So I'm just going to do random lines, right? All the way down. And who knows what I'm going to get in the end, because I can't really see my white on white. But I don't know. I was just feeling it this morning. The only Christmassy thing I have up at my house is I went to Costco and I bought a Costco wreath and a Costco poinsettia plant. I gotta get my act together, but you know, 'tis the season. Because you know what? Here's the thing. Deadlines don't care if it's Christmas and you haven't put up your Christmas decoration. Deadlines are deadlines, right? And I gotta meet my deadlines. That's my bread and butter. I was gonna mention, and I will put out a post today, that if you are interested in and I really highly encourage you to take part in the 2026 version of One Badass Art Journal. I only get credit if you use my link. And so I had to learn that the hard way last year. I didn't understand the whole process. But this year, I'm trying way harder to encourage people to use my link That's how I, a lot of things. That's how I get paid. And that's also how I get asked back, besides my artwork. Anyway, if you are interested, I would really ask you to please use my link. There's still, the discount is still available. And I will put that in my post too. And if you use that discount, you get 20% off, which is pretty decent. That's for sure. So it's under $100 without any of the discounts. And you get classes from February to May, and you from 17 different instructors, and everybody's so, oh, and now I lost my spot. I had to blow my nose or wipe my nose, and now I don't know, remember. Oh, here we go. Well, we're gonna find out as soon as we put some paint on here, aren't we? How my mark making on my mark making abilities. So it's not bad at all it's not a bad price at all to spend $100. And if you use that discount, it's even less. $100 on like months and months of artwork, of art classes. And everybody's so talented. And this year's lineup is, oh my gosh. Guys, I'm so, holy tamale. Oh, that's right, Lindy. That's right. Yes, if you I think yesterday, if you signed up by yesterday, you got, and I put that in the newsletter, that you got an additional discount. Oh, let's take a drink. Shall we? So now I'm like, I'm feeling like I want to do this in golds and yellows. That's what I'm kind of feeling. So I pulled a bunch this morning, and they have the most hysterical names. Oh, remember I told you this, so this is the matte tint. So it is it can be used as a sealer and as a tint. So I don't know if I'll use that today because, you know, all the new things. I need to get to know these things. Okay, so I have ochre, yellow submarine, terracotta, because I thought that might be kind of cool, and I have kiwi gold. I believe that these paints originated in Australia. They've been around for a while. I just haven't played with them. So, you know, I had to find a new something. Okay. So I'm going to put, that was yellow submarine. So let's get some water in there. And then I'm going to get a flat. Mix that up. And then see what happens. I don't know. I'm not seeing my resist. Maybe it'll show itself in just a little bit. I just thought, wouldn't it be cool to have this? Oh, I'm starting to see it. To see, to have all these layers of yellows and golds. And this is a good way to test it, right? To test the, its capabilities, which, you know, we've talked about that. That's how you get to know your art supplies, is by just using them. I read this thing this morning, you guys, and I thought, oh my gosh, that is so us. I'm going to paint the whole thing because I want to use all the bits and pieces of this, artsy paper that I'm creating. Okay, so let that dry. Okay, so you know what? Let's dry this. Oops. And then see where we want to go with our next color. Oh, so I read this thing, and I bet you've all seen it, because you know what? I swear, I think we all share the same social media accounts, because we send each other things that, like, we've all seen. Do you know what I mean? Good morning, Diana. How are you this morning? So I'm kind of digging this, you guys. But I kind of want to make it a little bit richer. Okay, so here's the quote. And tell me if you totally fall into this category. Waste your art supplies. Empty the paint jars. Use the good brushes. Ruin the expensive paper. Deplete the pens. Run the markers dry. Smear the ink. Make a mess. If it's teaching you and healing you or enriching your life, then it's worth being used. When I read that, you guys, I thought, you know what? That was written for us. Do you know what I mean? Because just like, and I know better, but I'm telling you, I've had these have been in my house for about a week, and today's the first day I did swatch the matte tints, but that's all I've done. And that's stupid. That's just stupid. So they go on to say, your materials are meant to serve you, not sit untouched while you wait to become worthy of using them. Every messy page, every half-finished idea, every imperfect attempt at a lesson, a release, a spark of joy, a spark of joy. We have to jump in with both feet, right? If it's enriching your life and empowering your creativity, it's not a waste. So, what art supply are you going to dust off and start using this week? Stop saving your good art supplies for a perfect moment that doesn't exist. So there we go. There we go. Good morning, Nance. Okay, so now I'm thinking, let's go a little deeper and get some ochre in there. See, I don't know. See what happens with that. Let's add some water to that. But maybe not so much. Maybe let's not add as much as I added to the yellow submarine. And let's see, I don't know. I have this perfect, what if, there we go. What do you think of that? We just do some brush mark making. I'm kind of digging that. What do you guys think? Send that or link to it. The quote or the post or the paint, or what do you want, Lindy? I'm feeling like maybe it should be, like our opening statement in our 2026 art journal. What do you think? Did you all see the what Carmen has done in her 2026 art journal already? So you know we always use a composition book. So she, and you know we use them for all kinds of things. So she already had hers. I will absolutely, you know what? I will put it in this week's newsletter. How's that sound? And I think, sorry you guys, I'm having allergies this morning. I'm sure it might have something to do that there's a dog in my house this week. But he's so dang cute that, you know. So I'm liking the transparent vibe that this is giving me. So I have used, like I said, I've used Yellow Submarine and Ochre, and I watered them both down. You know what's so fascinating? The crayon marks are really quite faint, but I can still see them there. Do you know what I mean? So that's something to consider. I was also thinking, oh, so sniffy. Sorry, you guys. I scrolled down too far. No, I can't see you. I was also thinking, wouldn't it be cool to try like all the things? Do you know what I mean? All the things. A little bit of, well, you know what? I cleaned my desk last night. Well, part of my desk. Don't go getting any crazy ideas like like it's all the way cleaned off or anything. Please. I don't know that that will ever happen. But I did clean quite a bit of it off. And so now my stacks that I knew are now new stacks. And so who knows where the things that you know what I mean? Oh, I have this catalyst. That might make some cool stuff. A cool texture. Okay, I found a couple of I found a couple of stencils that I thought, ooh, that might add something cool to the mix. And so I'm going to try terracotta. Let's deepen the... Okay. Let's add a little water to that. I have this stencil that I made for Adorn It, like, 4,000 years ago. Anyway, but I really like it. So I dig it out every now and again. So I think, oh, I got some big wet drips there, so I need to dry those. They're really thick. My fault. right, let's see. I'm just going to try and bend this back a little bit and get, break the fibers in my paper enough that it's more pliable. As I turned this, I saw a couple of more wet spots. And I want to stencil and mark make over everything, so, Okay. So let's get some of this terracotta. Okay, so here's the stencil that I made, 4,000 years ago, like I said. And, I have these terrible makeup sponges. I was on the hunt for makeup sponges for art. And, do you think I could find them at the dollar store? No, they did not have them at that time. And so I went to Walmart and I was like, I'm going to pay full price. But I kind of dig them. Okay, so this time I'm going to use this kiwi gold. But I think I want to use it, because now I have a different idea for that. I think I want to use this like full strength for my stenciling part. So let's lay that right on top. And then let's get some of this kiwi gold. Oops, I lost the picture. Okay, I'm going to stamp that off on my craft mat and see. If we get a little bit of a pattern on there. And I want to do it kind of random. So let's see. Will it be magic? Ooh, it's pretty subtle, but it's pretty cool. Okay, let's go over here. You guys, I'm really liking these paints. So you might call Tracy and get yourself something for Christmas that you'll be madly in love with on Christmas morning, and then just know that we'll all be painting together. Oh my gosh, because of the transparent nature of these. Seriously, you guys, I'm kind of falling in love with them because it's one transparent layer over another transparent layer over another transparent layer. And you saw that I did, some of them I diluted, some of them I'm using full strength. And like I said, I got the transparent. Oh my gosh, it's looking so rich and beautiful, you guys. Let's get some more over here. I feel bad because I got that big wet spot right there. So maybe let's get a little bit of that kiwi gold. And remember this one is transparent also. I got a little bit of that terracotta mixed in because I had a little bit of wet. And I'm just going to randomly, like I said. Oh my gosh. I'm loving it so much, you guys. There, can you see the layers and layers and layers of textures and colors and I hope that you can. Oh my goodness. Okay. So we have that. I do have just a little tiny bit of this left here. So what if we use that on the very center of this poinsettia? So I'm going to use this brush. I'll wet my brush, and then let's just get some color down here. You know I can't waste color. There we go. Oh. And there we go. A bit there, a little bit there. And then I told myself that I was going to start take any leftover paint, and I'm just going to start painting it in my art journal. Whoops. Just a sec, Deb. I'm trying to get to your comment. I didn't make it. I drew it, and then the good people at Adorn It made it for me. A long time ago, I did a Bible journaling stamp set for Adorn It, and the stencil came with it. I think. Let's find a blank page where we can use up all of that excess paint. There we go. Let's do it right there. So I'm just going to, like I said, use up all of that paint in my art journal. A page in my art journal. Who knows? It could be the best page in the whole wide world. You never know, all right? So let's set that aside to dry. And then for my final layer, I swear, I've used almost this whole time just painting this background, and I'm kind of okay with it. You know what I mean? So now I'm going to take that same little brush, wash out that color, and now remember I have this terracotta down here, and let's just flick some of that down. I tried to not use too much. Oh, there we go. This paint, you guys, so many cool layers. We can do so many cool layers. All these transparent layers. I mean, like I said, I haven't played with any of the other weights of, oh, there we go. Every time I do this, when I am done, I like later on today, I'll find all the splattered paint. Oh my gosh, look at that, you guys. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it so much. And isn't it going to be the perfect home for a poinsettia? I believe so. But let's take that terracotta and find that page that I started painting. And then just start randomly using up that paint. Right? A little bit more. Okay. Let's see. Now, oh, so I was telling you guys that this year I want to make all postcards for Christmas cards. And I will say that what I have found is, let's do a mop brush. That might be some cool. Let's mix that up. Yellow Submarine. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is making me so happy. I hope it makes you happy too. So I'm having so much fun, like I said, making all these postcards because I can try a new little technique, right? And then I can, and it's 4x6, right? And if I love it, I can do it again and again and again, or I can move on to something else. Everybody take a drink. Okay, now I have one last color. Let's see, what other kind of brush do I have in here? Oh, I have this big flat, a number 10. Let's go the opposite direction. Get a little more water in there. Okay, there we go. So shut up with my cute background, right? And those were all my gold, yellow tones from Paper Artsy. Like I said, I got mine at Papercraft Clubhouse. Support those small businesses, you guys. They'll go away if we don't support them. Oh, nice, Deb. They look like little duckies. This is, oh, so this technique, now I'm like, well, what else can I do? What else can I create with this on this page, on this background? I'm telling you, Lindy, back to school is the time. Because then you can get them for like 50 cents. But then I'm like, seriously? You can't spend $3? You can't get any other art journal for $3 or $5, right? And it's a year's worth of fun. Okay, so I'm going to set this aside to dry. And then I have some other things I wanted to show you guys that don't have anything to do with this paint right now. So, like I said, remember I said that I am working on, I can put something up there to hold that down. Working on creating postcards for my Christmas cards this year. And so I have some like ready to go. Oh, so I made some and I put them in last week's newsletter. So if you haven't opened it, be sure to open it. But I want to share with you the ones that I've made so far. So I have these. Oops. Okay. What did you say, Debbie? I overbuy. I have a tub of... Oh, I do too. I do too, Deb. But it's not going to go bad, right? It's a composition book. Okay, so these are the ones that I posted. So remember last week we painted the Aunt Marge coverall. And here's what I did. I watercolored that whole coverall, right, in class last Tuesday. And then I cut it up and mounted it to... I love these grid index cards, and that's what I use as my base for my postcards. And so I glued my watercolor paper painted imagery onto the index card, and then I was like, oh, what do I want to do with it? So then I added some of my artsy washi tape and a sentiment. And then I was digging through, you know, I have me a lot of stamps. And then I was like, oh, I could make it look like a piece of mail. And so I could put a canceled postage stamp in the upper right corner. Shut up. And it's Santa and he's peeking. I love it so much. And then I can, on the back side, I can put someone's address and I can write them a beautiful note and then put a current postage stamp. So then you get 2 postage stamps. So I have Joy to the World, have a Merry-tacular Christmas, and Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas. And then I had a little piece left over. And so I'm starting building this one. I don't know where I want to go with it just yet, but it's coming along. And then we worked on the Carmen art printable, if you remember. And so I had lots of pieces partially colored. Anybody else have that situation in their art room or their art table or their art pile or whatever you have? So I had done this technique about 4,000 years ago. And it was a no blend Copic alcohol marker technique. And so that's what I did here. And so then I had all of my like always, I was like, oh, I remember Copic markers. Let me pull those out again. And so I started to paint with them. I started to color. So I have a bunch of pieces here that I have started with my Copics. So I have this one. I have these from the Carmen art printable. So you'll see... Sorry. You have 2 postcards right here because look, that half of a poinsettia is perfect. Like this, I need to put a sentiment on here. I don't know what else I want to do with it. I have a lot of ideas. You know, I was telling Joni yesterday, I have more ideas than time. Anybody else? Anyone relate to that? Okay, so these were ones that I found in my stash that I had colored with my Copic markers. And then, if you remember, last week we did some watercoloring with the Carmen art printable. so I have these. But then I also had this piece that I did with my Loddie Doddie gel pens 100 years ago. And I was like, oh, what can I do with that? So here's my thoughts. First, I have this gorgeous, if you are also in the market for shopping for yourself for Christmas, the paper, Your Paper Insider is also a place that you might consider getting yourself a subscription or just buying one box. They, I've talked about them before. Let's see. So, oh, here we go. Your Paper Insider, you get a box with, look, my box, I got all of these colors, or all of these papers, and they're papers from around the world. I got all of these plus this, and I have a big fat idea for that I want to play with today. So this is box 13, the one that's currently out. And so it comes with papers from around the world. They're just amazing. But they also have, so they're all different kinds of papers. Like they have, wait till you see. So I have this piece that I painted with my Copic markers, right? So then I was like, oh, I'm going to back that in orange. And I was like, oh, shut up. I love that. But then I found this little piece of gorgeousness, and it is called Light Blue Non-Shed Glitter. And I thought, who wouldn't like to get that in the mail? So I'm going to fussy cut that and build a card here. Wait, so then while I still had this out, I cut 2 postcard pieces with that. Because then I have this poinsettia that I left white. And so, shut up, look how pretty that is. And then I thought I could cut a bigger circle of something else to break it up. And I thought, what about some vellum? And in the box, you also get some really cool vellum. Look at this vellum. It has a stripe in it, and it is called White Fine Lines Vellum. Kind of mad for that. And I thought, wouldn't that would be a cool break in between this and this. So there's that. Oh, wait, I'm not done. And then I have this poinsettia that I think I colored last week in Thursday's class with the Carmen Art Printable. And I used more of my Loddie Doddie gel pens. And I was like, oh, I just loved that coral and the kind of a shrimp kind of color. I was loving that. And then, holy tamale, look at this. Look at this. This is called Red Wagon Mary Sparkle. Shut it. It is so sparkly. And then I found Sicily Color Wheel Spellbinders cardstock. So there, that and that. Like, let me move this stuff so you can see on my messy craft mat. And then this, shut it. And then I had this strip that I can't waste anything. So I thought, oh, I could put that there. I could put that there. Then I thought, oh, I could put it over here so it's kind of offset. Stop it. I have all the ideas. So I thought I could build something this morning. So I'm really feeling this, I really, like this, I love that, but that just looks like blah, doesn't it? And so I'm thinking I want to use that striped, like this will be like the perfect barrier, I think. If I did it, I don't know. I was playing with this smaller piece that I had, Like, would it be cool to do it like that? Would it be cool to do stripes of it all the way down? Shut it. That might be cool. And do stripes like this. Do you see what I'm saying? I'll show you what I'm thinking. What if I want this to be, oops. If I make this 4 inches wide, right? Now I still have that I can make something with. And then I could do I want to do 1/2 inch or 3/4? Maybe 3/4. See how many we can get. Who wouldn't want a nice artsy postcard in the mail, right? Okay, so let's see. Let's see what we can see. Good morning, Kathy. Don't you even worry about it. You can watch it on the replay. Or you can always watch it on my YouTube channel. Okay, so what do you think, you guys, of this? What if I did like that? It kind of breaks up that bright yellow, right? Right? And then, I'm liking it more. I'm liking it more. I don't know what I want to do. I feel like I want to, it needs something else. It needs, I need to repeat the purple. So I do have some doodads from my friend Victor at High Supply that I could incorporate somehow. It's on its way. It's on its way. What do you guys think? I'm kind of digging it. Have that right at the edge. And then I could do, you know. Some, like I said, I could get some purple, something else on there. And a sentiment that could come off, like right here off the corner of my poinsettia. So I hope that I have inspired you to make some artsy postcards, Christmas or otherwise. Play with some. I am digging this, you guys. I am digging this Paper Artsy Fresco FInish paint. Look at this. I have 4 colors of yellow just on the background. Stop it. And I absolutely want to, what did I do with it? Okay, so this poinsettia, I want to paint that and I'm thinking I'm going to cut it in half. I could cut it in half here and I could have one postcard and another postcard. Then I still have this Be Merry banner. I still have this artsy heart, and I still have Good Tidings to You. Shut it! So, go to Corbiere-Scott.com and get you a Michelle art printable. Call my friend Tracy and invest in a few of the Paper Artsy Fresco FInish Chalk acrylics. I see them in my future a lot. And think about your Paper Artsy Insider, getting a subscription box to that. I think it's like $30-something, and it comes out quarterly. And you get a lot of paper in there. You get a lot of paper. I am going to go take a Sudafed. I adore you all. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you just hanging and chatting with me every Tuesday and Thursday and Wednesday when we're stitching. I will see you tomorrow in Stitch Along. Lindy, I will put the that post in the newsletter this week about wasting your art supplies. Go out and make it a terrific Tuesday, everybody. Thanks so much, everyone. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.